If you are thinking about buying a new construction home, this video is for you. My name is Leah Jones. I'm a luxury real estate agent serving Montgomery, Pike Road, Lake Martin, and Birmingham, Alabama. And before I was selling real estate at this level, I spent years in new home sales. I know how builders think, I know how these incentives are structured, and I know what questions to ask because I've been on the other side of the table. So let's talk about that $20,000 or $30,000 incentive everyone is advertising right now. First, and most important thing I can tell you about new construction, builders are not going to lower the price, period. And here's the thing, you don't want them to. If a builder lowers the price on one home, that becomes a comparable sale, a comp, for every other home in that neighborhood, including the one you just bought. A lower comp drags down your value, so builders protect their price, and honestly, as a buyer, you should want them to. What they do instead is offer incentives. And right now, more than 60% of builders nationally are offering incentives. So this is very real, very relevant, and very worth understanding. The incentive usually comes in one of three forms. Let me walk you through each one. The first is a rate buydown. This lowers your monthly mortgage payment, sometimes temporarily, for the first year or two, sometimes 9 years, sometimes permanently for the life of the loan. Now, whether a rate buydown is actually the right move for you depends on a few things. How long do you plan to stay in the home? If you're planning to move or refinance in a few years, a temporary buydown may not be worth what it costs the builder to offer it to you. You want to run those numbers before you commit. The other thing to know about rate buydowns, and this applies to most builder incentives, is that they almost always require you to use their preferred lender. Sometimes that's one company they own. Sometimes it's a short approved list. Rarely can you use any lender of your choice and still receive the incentive. So before you fall in love with your floor plan, understand who you'll be getting your mortgage from and what that means for your rate, your fees, and your options. The second is a design center credit. This is where it gets really interesting and where I think buyers need the most guidance. A design center credit can be genuinely generous, but builder upgrade pricing can run above what an outside contractor would charge for the same finish. So the question isn't just how much credit do I have, it's how do I spend it wisely. I've personally designed homes throughout our area. Countertops, cabinetry, color palettes, lighting fixtures. I know which selections elevate a home's value and which ones are just a higher price tag with a pretty name. Here's what else varies dramatically by builder. Some require a deposit on your design center upgrades up front before construction even begins. That deposit can be significant. Some builders refund it at closing, others structure it differently, and some builders don't require a deposit at all. Some builders allow real, meaningful customization, added bathrooms, morning kitchens, arched doorways, moved walls. Others offer a beautiful standard package that keeps your price per square foot lower. And that has its own value, especially if space is your priority. Knowing which builder fits your goals, your lifestyle, and your budget is the whole game. And that's something I can genuinely help you navigate. The third is a closing cost credit. This is my favorite because it's the cleanest, straight value applied to your closing table. No markup, no design center pricing games. But here's a distinction that almost nobody explains, and it costs buyers money when they don't understand it. There's a difference between closing costs and prepaids. Closing costs are the lender's fees, title fees, and transaction cost. Prepaids are things like your homeowner's insurance, your property tax escrow, and your prepaid interest. Some builders include both in their credit. Others only cover closing costs, and you're responsible for the prepaid separately. Knowing exactly what's included and knowing what to ask for can mean thousands of dollars in or out of your pocket. This is exactly where having someone in your corner matters. And if you're a cash buyer, this conversation looks totally different for you. Your closing costs are already lower than a finance purchase, which means these incentive packages hit differently. Don't walk into a builder conversation without understanding what you should actually be asking for based on your specific situation. Here's the final thing I want you to know. Incentives can often be stacked. A rate buydown, closing cost credit, a design credit, and possibly some other incentives. A house is a product, but what you're actually buying is a lifestyle. My job is knowing which builder, which price point, and which package actually fits the life you're trying to build. Before you walk into that model home, call me. I'm Leah Jones, and I know this market.